You guys have 2 gyro compasses up there, right? Yeah. Thanks.
So I haven't seen too many fish species on this dive so far. That was the 3rd one. But we're hoping that once we climb on top of this kind of ridge-like feature, we'll be able to see some of these deep water snappers, queen snappers, and some groupers.
Still good.
I think so.
All right, looks good to me. Bridge is already now. Yeah, you guys ready for a move?
Our first dive,
right, 20 meters,
the east
bearing
side of
degrees,
the Okeanos Island. We were able to see a pretty large school of silk snappers, some other type of snappers, possibly vermilion snappers, and a couple of relatively large misty groupers. So we're hoping to be as lucky as we were on the first day today. And so far, the biological diversity has been relatively high compared to the last couple of days that we've been surveying within the Mona Canyon and
this camera, that big white thing. It's kind of interesting.
Off a ridge or possible landslide to the north of Vega Baja.
It's just sand, sediment.
Or more of that chalk. Carbonate.
Can we get a snap zoom on these sponges?
Yeah, dead center?
Yeah, no, right to the upper left.
Oh, yeah. All right, video, you want to snap it?
Yeah, so the ones in front of us look like a euplectillid because you could see the sieve plate. And we've been seeing these throughout the expedition. They've been relatively common. However, their morphology has been different throughout the different dives. Thanks, pilot.
You want to go up to the others?
And just a quick zoom on the upper, yeah, I think this is a different species of sponge.
Yeah, go from zoom video.
It might also be a euplectillid because I kind of see the sieve plate on top. But it looks like it has all these, looks like zoanthids on the outside. So this is another type of glass sponge. Thanks, pilot.
Okay, pilot.
Copy that.
So this area looks like it's been pretty active. We're seeing these failures in the reef floor. especially in this area. It's like a lot of, the floor has broken off. Looks like another small little black coral in the middle of the screen.
Do you want to snap it?
Sure.
All right, video, you want to
Move
snap?
complete. Thanks, Bridge.
Yeah, it looks like the one that we've been seeing. This is a black coral. Es un coral negro. Okay.
Is that all you need?
Yeah, thank you.
You got it.
Okay.
Ooh, oh,
Shrimp.
never mind.
This is another relatively large sponge. This might be what we're calling geodia, I'm not sure. Can we do a snap zoom?
Yeah, video, you want to snap this?
Yeah, so this is, it looks similar to what we sampled the other day. And we think it might be a geodia. It's really fouled, so it's really hard to see. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Copy that.
What is the red? It's like right below the lasers right now. There's a red thing, I believe, moving.
Looks like
Looks
a
like
shrimp.
maybe a crab. Yeah,
A
right
snap.
on the left.
That same shrimp that we saw
This is
before.
another one of these shrimp.
Yeah.
We had a request to collect it, but I think shrimp are going to be
Oh, yeah, I don't.
hard.
Yeah, we might
If
not
we
be able
found
to do
some,
that.
maybe on something that we wanted to collect.
All right, I'll keep my eyes out.
If you could just maybe just zoom in from front to back.
Yeah,
Just
video, come back in. You can do that.
Just stay here and let them
I
walk.
like this mohawk going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stylish.
So this is a pan-tropical shrimp. Maybe Oplophorus. I'm still trying to get some confirmation, but we haven't seen this type of shrimp throughout the expedition. This is the first time at this location. That's a great shot. Thanks, pilot.
No problem. All right, moving on.
So a lot of these deep water, commercially important fish species like the queen snapper, much is not known of where they reside, what's their habitat, where they reproduce or what they eat. And some of the fishermen have been able to grab out some of the prey species from these queen snappers' mouth, and they found that actually they do feed on shrimp and other organisms like squid. So it's really important to catalog all species here in this area to better understand the resources that these queen snappers use. Can we snap to the left, right at, yeah, there's like this branching. It's kind of thick. I'm not sure if it's a sponge.
Yeah, video, you want to snap?
This looks very different than what we've, I believe, been seeing. Looks like it's a
black coral covered in zoanthids.
looks to be a, I'm not sure. I want to say an octocoral. Yeah, it's an octocoral. But it's something different from what we've been seeing. Maybe wait for the shoreside team to see if they have any idea. There's a small associate, it looks like kind of like an amphipod right by the base of the branches. I think that's good. Hopefully this is a good enough capture to possibly identify it.
All right, copy that.
Thank you.
Video. All right, moving on.
So these demo sponges are definitely become more abundant since we've gotten shallower. Right now we are at a depth of 445 meters. And I was mentioning to Steve before a couple of the ROV, AUV work that has been conducted on the west coast of Puerto Rico and shallower depths. We saw a lot of this sponge, so it's common for this area. And since it's a relatively
Right now, with the status of
kind of flat, hard ground in this area, it provides a refuge
copy that. You want to
for many different organisms.
You happy? Yep. Cool. Yeah.
Do the same.
Provides structure.
Bridges RV nav. Yeah, ready for a move, same as last. Range 20 meters, bearing 195, speed decimal 2. It's a good copy, Bridge.
That big sponge to the, it's right now like at right to the left of your lasers. I think that was the one that we collected the other day.
Just snap it.
Poliopogon. I think this is that. Yeah, I think it is. This is another type of glass sponge. And we collected a piece the other day. I think this is it. And this was known to the Eastern Atlantic, close to the Canary Islands, but has never been collected in the Caribbean region. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Copy that.
Video's going to be swapping out.
Copy that. Thanks, video.
Sí, en estos sitios, en este buceo, hay una gran diversidad de esponjas. Como ves en la pantalla, hay muchas esponjas. Se llama demo sponges. Pero también hay corales negros y hydrocorals también, stylasters. Son familia de coral fuego, pero en aguas profundas. Ahora estamos subiendo a este pendiente y pronto vamos a estar encima de la cuesta. Ahora la profundidad es 442 metros. Can we snap zoom the branching right in the middle of the screen, top middle?
Top middle. Right there?
Yes.
All right.
I'm seeing all these different corals and Steve's at lunch.
What'd you find for me?
Just a quick snap, we'll find out.
Yeah, this is kind of what we saw just a little bit ago, but this colony is white, and that one was yellow.
For me to show those polyps.
Copy. I think right now they just want to snap.
Shoreside scientists.
But
I'm calling out.
Go right. Go setup.
Copy that.
So this looks like, this is a primnoide.
All right. We come back in video.
So this is an octocoral. Es un coral blando.
Can we throw on the extra lights?
Primnoide.
Yeah, go for it, Copy that.
That's really beautiful structure. It looks like,
Interesting coral.
yeah, kind of like icicles.
Some of the smallest polyps I've seen.
You can see there's a couple associates, really small crabs, maybe like, shrimp, mysid shrimp. See their small little eyes on the shrimp? Pretty cool.
Move looks complete, pilots.
Copy.
Okay. That's good, pilot. Thank you.
Move complete. Thanks, Bridge.
Let's go full screen.
You got it?
Can we also,
That's
while
correct.
zooming
Bill
out, put
northeast.
the lasers?
Thanks,
Yeah,
Bridge.
copy that.
Thanks. Thank
Try
you.
to get it on the branches to get it.
Yeah.
Do you want to wait till the beauty shot's complete?
You can go back for beauty shot if you want video.
It's all right. There was a yellow thing inside of that sponge, dark orange. You'd have to rotate right to see it.
This looks like the shallow water plexaurid.
You guys seen that?
But
The
it's
snapper.
definitely not that. You could see one of the stylasters growing on the sponge. That's interesting.
Okay, video's clear.
All right, watch it. Happy with that?
Yes, thank you.
All right, coming wide.
Lights, extra lights clear.
So now we should be into that. Yeah. See. Yeah. See. Floating.
Yeah, it looks like it's
start to get flatter and flatter as we
Yeah. And now if we can start cutting, I think the idea was to, well, just keep going up and eventually when it's flat enough, turn.
Yeah.
There was another waypoint, wasn't there, before? Oh, it's over here.
Yeah,
oh,
but these aren't, they're not hard.
Okay.
They're just,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, let's see.
It's going right up the middle.
It's the edge of it, which it's kind of a gentle slope. But somewhere in here, I think we should turn starboard and follow the ridge.
Oh, okay.
Follow that contour.
So we're close to the ridge. We have about maybe another 20 meters or so.
Yeah, somewhere between 20 and 40 meters.
About 20 and 40 meters. And I was expecting a little bit more fish on this dive, especially maybe under some of these overhangs, because it provides great refuge and protection from predators. And we were told by the fishermen who have been collaborating with us during this expedition that these deep water snappers, like the queen snapper, like to position themselves heading into the current. That way they can catch their prey more easily. Can we snap zoom? There's something branching right at 9 o'clock.
All right, Fiddy, you want to snap this? So you want to watch it?
Yes.
Copy. Coming down lower.
Looks like some stalk, maybe overgrown with zoanthids. Yeah, it looks like some stalk of some sort, or a branch of some sort overgrown by zoanthids. Okay, that's good, thank you.
Copy that. Video, whenever you're happy. Another shrimp.
Oh, yeah, right at the base.
Maybe not right now.
Save that for next watch.
Yeah.
So the other day, we, right off of Calle de Muertos, we were able to observe a queen snapper down to 539 meters. Before that, it was the deepest depth range known was approximately close to 400 to 450 meters. So that was a great find. So these are pretty massive sponges for an area that with high current. Is the current still strong, pilot, or is?
No, it's pretty non-existent up here.
Oh, okay.
That might be why we're seeing some
bigger sponges. Yeah.
Might be able to do another jump too.
Yeah, you want 20 or 15?
20.
We do 20.
Yeah, 20. Bridge is RV nav. Yeah, ready for move. Range 20 meters, bearing 195 degrees, speed decimal 2.
Can we snap zoom on one of these big fan-shaped sponges? There's something happening towards like the tip of it, around the border.
All right, video. You want to snap tip?
That's quite interesting.
Be good if it could appear right around the opposite side after we get this.
Copy. I'll see if science wants it.
Huh.
Science, let me know if you want to see the other side.
Yeah, can we see the other side?
Yeah. Video come wide.
Interesting. Looks like this sponge may be attacking this other sponge. I'm not sure. Looks like there's discoloration along the border. There's some type of defense occurring with the white one.
Keep an eye on my tether, Copilot.
Yeah,
Totally
looking
fine.
good. And we should be moving in closer.
Yeah, just as I turn, let me know.
Okay.
All right, Vida, you want to go for this one?
Maybe it's recently dead tissue. I think that's what's happening. Yeah, it looks like maybe, yeah, you could see. Yeah, I think the border is dying. Now you could see the between the live and the dead tissue. Okay.
Just a quick question. Could it be possible because those hydroids are growing on?
I think maybe the hydroids probably started growing on after the tissue was dead. I don't think it's maybe what caused it. I'm not sure if like diseases in deep water sponges are well known, especially in what seems, I'm not sure if this kind of looks like it could be a glass sponge. But yeah, I'm not sure if diseases are well known in deep water, deep sea sponges. But it looks like it, yeah, the tissue is on the outside border is dead. You could see the border between live and dead tissue.
Video's
Interesting.
through.
Huh.
All right.
It looks like it just in these really big
Come on.
kind of lobated sponges. We're seeing this.
All right, moving on.
Trying to decide when we should turn right.
We could just start cheating. Do an angle.
Yeah, come to starboard a little bit.
It's shallow enough where I don't think we have to worry about hitting anything.
Move complete. Thanks, Bridge.
There might be something there.
Could look at it real quick. It's pretty much where D2 is. I think it's just seeing this little ledge here.
Isn't this P2?
Yeah, but the distance though. So I think it's, if I look here, I saw a little ledge over there.
Yeah, I think it's probably just a little rock.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of that feature.
There you go. There's a fish for you.
Big fish
Ooh.
left.
Do we have lasers on?
Just in time, Stacy left and I got back trading off interesting things. I missed the coral and she missed the
pictures
fish.
of this if we can.
I'll do my best. Video come in. He's
Try and get a good
swimming
shot of
away.
this, though.
It's pretty far.
I think it looks like a queen
But
snapper,
I'm
no?
in hot pursuit.
No.
It's a snapper.
Looks like a snapper of some type.
All right.
It is a queen snapper.
Lasers clear.
Laser's good.
Awesome. Our depth right now is 430. So that would, I think, be the second or third deepest record for queen snapper on this particular expedition. Yeah. And pilot, the video team wanted us to get some better hold some zooms here for an upcoming video, so feel free to take as much time as you need. Very nice.
And then, yeah, just keep an eye on my copilot as I kind of drive here.
Looking good. Don't know how that tube, so we can drop down if need be, and I'll track you.
I think he's gone.
I'll turn a little too and try to light up that area.
Ready for tide of the eye?
Yeah, go for a video.
Gonna keep an eye out for any parasites or small organisms that can be on the fish as well. I don't see any.
Not quite enough
I
lighting.
didn't see any on the way in the first time.
Copy, still approaching.
Yeah, I can't see anything that would resemble a parasite on this fish.
No, it's way
on
too
the
far
fins
away.
or
Yeah, they might just drown it.
or otherwise.
Parasite on its tail.
There might be a nodule or something on the lower tip of the caudal fin. Yeah, I can't tell what that is though. Could be something attached.
Continue.
Very nice coloration though.
Panning up.
Pinkish
Copy.
to silver. This is one of the fishes that we have.
Are we moving or are we stationary?
Stationary.
Copy. Great.
It's a cool shot too, actually.
Yeah.
Thanks, Science.
Hi there. Great shots of a beautiful queen snapper. Just in time.
Full screen.
Yeah. Is this Michelle?
Copy that.
Yeah, how you doing?
There's a little bit of a feedback on your audio line there, but I think we can understand you perfectly.
All right, I think that's about all this guy's going to give us.
Yeah, copy that. We've been on it for a while. I think it's pretty good.
Now he swims towards us.
Yeah, I
Let's
think
get that facial view again.
Go for it. It's one of those things where he wants attention, but he
This
doesn't
is
want
some
to
of
show it.
the first
So he threatened to leave.
video confirmation of the type of habitat that these fishes are occupying. We were pretty sure about the depth, but because these areas are so deep and total blackness, we really weren't sure of the characteristics of the habitat that they use.
It's a coincidence we're moving
So
and where
this
he's
helps
going.
address various questions regarding the feeding and the shelter habitats that these fish need,
195.
which will help us better understand which are the areas that are critical to support this fishery.
Thanks for that, Michelle. Yeah, this is probably one of the deeper depths that we've seen the queen snapper on this expedition. And I remember off our dive off La Perguera in that region, we saw one of the queen snappers, or wait, sorry, I think it might have been Caja de Muertos actually, where we saw the queen snapper at 539 meters.
I think this is back where
But it was definitely more boulders. This is more smooth, kind of carbonate pavement with some occasional outcrops and caves or caverns. So this is a great use of different habitats by that one fish we've seen.
Go 195?
Or cut it if you want to. Not sure. Do a snapper real quick. Watch it. Do you have interest in Yellow Star?
Yeah, just a quick snap on
that.
the star. Thanks.
Yeah, you could turn to starboard a little bit, Copilot, as we begin to turn right here.
Okay.
Maybe like 225 or something, or 210 or. Let's do 210 to start.
Is that all you need, Watchley?
That's very good, thanks.
All right.
Can you get us centered?
Bridge is RV nav.
Super tight shot yet.
Yeah, like a move 15 meters, bearing 210, speed decimal 2.
Okay.
All right.
Pretty unstable.
Good copy.
Copy. Just a snap zoom, so I think that's okay.
Yep.
Ooh, look at that sponge thing on the right.
Pretty big sponges in this area.
Can we do a pan across that? From the left to
Did
right?
we?
Yeah, let me get a little closer.
You want lasers on or off?
Off.
Try to get, it's about as low as I can get video. I can do a pan across.
It's a very weird texture pattern on that sponge.
Tilt down. Hold there, and then just rotate.
This looks like one of these platey sponges we've been seeing. It's just very, very big. One of the larger ones we've seen so far on this
There's
dive.
no light in the front of the vehicle anymore.
It's down low. You can kind of see. You can put high beams on if you
Let's
want.
click on the extra
Those striations are very distinct. They're coming off of the base, it looks like, or near the base. I'm guessing that adds some sort of structural
Tilt down
component
to one of
the
the
sponge.
branching connections at the bottom.
Copy.
Excellent. Very good to get an idea on the sponge. Sometimes you need to get a better, closer look at the attachment point, how it's attached to the seafloor. Sometimes tells certain families apart from others. Thanks, pilot.
No problem.
Let's go with a full screen.
Copy. Full screen.
Excellent.
Rotate left. Science, has anyone identified this one yet? This looks very different.
Ship stationary pilots?
Science, has anyone identified this one yet? This looks very different than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, so Dan Wagner just sent a message in from the other room. It looks like Facalia.
Do you have lasers on again?
So it's not a sponge that I'm familiar with personally, but
Nice.
at least we can identify to the genus level.
About a meter long. It's good.
Video's
Hold on.
clear.
Maybe
All right.
something different.
Moving on.
That idea is tentative, in flux. But thanks for getting that great imagery. Yeah, let's hold up on that.
Well, actually, when you said hold up, do you mean waiting on it?
Yeah, I think.
We've
Can
completed
we
the
go?
bridge.
If we're stopped, can we go back to that sponge?
Yeah, I can go back. Give me a sec. We are stopped, right?
Yes.
There's a little bit more consensus now for a possible collection on that sponge or a piece of it.
Backing up.
Can we take a?
I'll leave it up to you, pilots, on which you think is most grabbable, obtainable.
We're going to take a quick look at the front side.
Yeah, if it's manageable, if it's not too much current in the area, you could get a look at the opposite side as well.
It's underneath me, up and down.
Let's try those extra
The
lights.
down current side, or the downslope side rather, looks a lot thicker than this side. It looks like it forms a very
got high because I want to make sure I didn't back over it.
Very thin kind of shell, or hatch shell-like morphology. Shoreside, folks, we're going to see the other side to see if it has this kind of striations, these markings.
Really good side of it.
Yeah.
There actually might be a smaller individual on the inside of it as well.
I have video. This is good.
Yep.
It's quite thin. At least on the edges of it.
So watch it. Is this something like this? Would it just kind of tear if I sampled it?
Yeah.
Tear a piece off? Does that sound?
I don't know, but I would guess it's probably going to be softer than hard, and it's probably tearable or clippable. You know, fairly. It won't require a lot of strength, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's just based on my impression of the texture, though.
Yeah, copy that. Find out
never
soon
know
if we decide to sample.
So this has been a kind of an interesting dive so far because we've found a couple of things that are just really out there in terms of what our scientists have seen before.
I'm going to come wide and I'll try to set up here.
This sponge being one of them. We also saw a very vibrant purple plexaurid octocoral.
Piece off the top.
That was collected also earlier on this dive, along with some
extra lights clear
associates that were on and within the colony.
Yeah, sure, for now. Watch lead. Is this, do we know if we're definitely collecting this?
Yeah, it's going to go for a collection.
All right, copy that.
Yep.
Do we need to move the ship at all? Or do you think we're good?
It's stationary. If you're happy with it.
Is Sirius going to swing or is she done?
No, it shouldn't swing. It's been stationary for a while.
Awesome. All
I'll
right.
keep an eye on it.
You think you can open both bio boxes there? Co-pilot? I think it's fine.
You do have a shrimp on your left side, which may or may not.
Yeah, I'll probably just
crab.
go starboard with this, and then just gonna try to tear a piece and stick it in starboard. Sound good?
Yeah, maybe like that.
Yeah, watch it. I'm just gonna go for the little top piece, just try to tear it off. If that sounds good.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Sounds great.
Okay, we're good here. Copy that.
Be curious to see what this.
If you're happy with that, you can put
looks like
this up.
a type of vasculature.
So I'm ready to turn on?
Yep.
Arms coming on. 3, 2,
linear
1.
striations are within the sponge itself.
I just pull it out.
Of course, sponges don't have a vasculature or vessels that fluids move through, but it seems like they might serve more of a structural purpose in this case. Oh, it's a very large individual. I think the largest sponge we've seen on the dive so far. Easily almost a meter across, I would say, from tip to tip.
All right, video, you want to come partial on Mini Zeus, please? Yeah, it's good.
Co-pilot, you okay for tight on Sirius?
Sure.
All right, watch it. I'm just going to grab right there. How's that sound?
Yeah, I think that looks good to me. Looks pretty soft. Yeah, it looks
All right.
very soft.
12 piece off. All right, Copilot, you can go for drawer if you're ready.
Sure, coming out. Oh, did the... Oh,
Do we bump? Or?
okay, fully extended.
Is that all the way out? Might just be dark in that box.
Yep.
Copy.
Oh, I should bring the swing arm around. Forgot about that. Is that going to be good enough?
Sorry, I think I can do it like that.
Yeah, I think the only way to get light in there is you can take an upper. You bring it. You could. You don't do it now, but you could bring it all the way in, and you could bring it straight down if you really wanted to. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
Might want to center up on HD2.
Bring it over just a bit more. There we go.
I think it's stuck. Crap.
It's going. There you go. Starboard outer.
All right. Copilot, you can go for drawer. Thank you, sir.
Nice sample, Sean.
2 for 2.
All right, arm is off. And we're good.
Very nicely done, pilots.
Want to zoom in on the tear point while we're sitting here?
Looks like a nice clean cut.
Looks like they almost caught a crinoid.
Yeah, that was a little... Is that a crinoid or a bracingid? Can't quite make it out. Yeah, it would have been kind of tough to see in there, but yeah, that would have been a good twofer. I think it's probably a crinoid. Very curious why it's in the center of that kind of concavity. You would have think that the flow conditions would have been better more at the top.
That shrimp seems to be feeding on the tear point.
Something, yeah, picking very thin translucent shrimp on the cutting edge there. The cut edge of the sponge.
Hey Andy, just before you lift off, can we look at the tear point? There's a shrimp and a crinoid on the tip.
Yep.
Sure can, video. Let me just get set up here. Right on the, where did you say it was?
Right on the cut point. See the shrimp?
Oh, yeah.
Seems to be feeding. He ducks over.
Yeah, just in time.
Okay, video.
Excellent. Yeah, that does look like a crinoid
Coming
video.
out whenever you're ready.
Yep,
Thanks
shrimp
for
came back.
getting
Oh,
in there.
perfect. We'll stay on them then.
As well as a tiny little shrimp.
It's too translucent to show his grabbers.
Or the, yeah, the high beams are on, aren't they? The fog lights there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go.
Okay. Clear.
All right, come on out.
All right.
Pilot, co-pilot.
Nav?
So,
Lights are clear.
pilot, for your information, we currently have 2 samples. One in the port inner, one in the starboard outer. The one in the port inner is apparently a crab, so we'll probably try and get any samples you may come across into the starboard inner.
Okay.
Which relay are the headlights?
I see aft bar. It's
Aft
on the
bar,
bank
gotcha.
1.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, bank 4.
Yeah.
Perfect, thanks.
That's right.
They said we got a lot of stuff to look at here, so they're flying.
Yep.
What is this guy?
Something crawling,
Shrimp?
yeah.
It's a shrimp they've been wanting to
Yeah,
collect.
there's another one of these crab, or shrimps rather. This is the second one we've seen today, and we were trying to figure out, the one we saw this morning was very quickly climbing down slope, and we were trying to figure out if
Floating up.
it could be some sort of invasive crab. Did we ever find that? Oh, so this is
Laser's
different
clear.
than the first one.
Go ahead and kill lasers
Okay.
for me. Thanks.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's same as the first shrimp we saw like this, but yeah, very prominent rostrum spines.
Big guy.
Difficult to say.
Oh, we've seen
going on
another
there?
one.
This looks like the first one we saw.
Oh boy.
Kind of has this mottled white coloration. Spines on the rostrum, serrations. So, yeah, it's always moving. Looks like there's a small, maybe amphipod or some sort of parasite on one of the antennae.
Where are you going? Come out just a little bit, video.
So I was looking at the abdomen, and I did see some spines on the dorsal side of the abdomen, but if there are other spines where we should be looking, we can try and get a better image on those.
Who's already here?
Trying to find its keys.
It's Google Maps.
All right, thanks, pilot. This one's a lot smaller. The last one we saw was about 12 centimeters in length.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, video.
Can we get lasers on this on the way out?
Sure. Yeah, thanks. Not quite 10.
Turned.
Outsmarted.
Where are you going?
Ran into a tree.
Yeah, not quite 10.
Maybe heterocarpus.
All right.
Stalked crinoid straight ahead would be nice to see.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Just as you got up for lunch, you were telling me about the corals that I missed, and you missed the fish that, like, literally
No fair.
seconds after.
We should have switched lunch times today. Oh well, I'm sure we'll hopefully see some more cartuchos.
I'm sure. We're just at the top of this feature now.
That's a really cool crinoid.
About only 16 more meters of vertical left to transit before we're at the 410 meter or so isobath.
Okay.
This is like a stock crinoid, but it's like a miniature stock.
Yeah.
Were you able to see the coral that we saw on the?
I did see it. It's definitely a primnoid, and yeah, if we see another one, I'd like to take a look at it. I was more of the opinion that it might be Paracalyptrophora given the density of polyps, but yeah, it's something we can definitely look at. There was the density of polyps and was something that was particularly striking, which is known from one species of Paracalyptrophora in this area. Orientation of the polyps was right, as well as their the way they were retracted.
Was a cartucho on top of the substrate, or was it because we've been seeing this kind of mix between these overhangs and sandy area or sediment areas to that of just these kind of flatter areas?
It did a flyby. It started off coming into the frame on a flat kind of pavement like this.
Okay.
And then it stuck its head in a little crevice. I wouldn't call it an overhang, but it was kind of a crevice, and then swim away afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So I suppose you could call that utilizing both types of the habitat here.
Go ahead, go about.
Hey guys, this is Kate Overley. I didn't get a chance to call in right when you saw the Queen Snapper, but that was some really great video that you guys got. We've seen
they're the new ones. I believe the overall idea is that we're just going to climb this wall, and then now that we're near the top, we're going to start heading
I've only been through a few
along
of them
this
so
feature.
far, but this is
So the next
really
move I have is a 285, which will move us a little more northwest, but slightly a little bit more
this is really great.
Wait,
southwest first.
I thought the last one was at 210.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think they want to go in that direction again.
So what Levi was saying
Kate,
is that
so you were saying that they usually are in areas where they're these like kind of flatter areas with a lot of sponges?
Rather than later, so we can ride this ridge. So I'm moving us slightly closer, but still northwest.
Has them in areas similar to this.
Diagonal up.
We have such
figure out where exactly it is.
That we really don't know for sure yet. So it's nice to use this to kind of build a picture. For my project,
go down to the base.
We're kind of looking at defining what types of habitats may be optimal for Queen Snapper. So possibly enabling spatial management further down the road, but there's nothing really known yet. So this is great to see. Maybe we'll be able to use this in the future.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I remember the last time we saw them, they were in more boulders when they were deeper.
Right south of Caja de Muertos, we saw them in more like, I guess, mixed type of habitat where it was like sandy and big boulders and not so many sponges as we are seeing today.
Yeah, and that's awesome. The only videos I've done so far